We've changed the technology on these and it's got a lot easier, but today we're going back to the old technology. I'm a little bit flustered, and my guest is from that part of the world. I'm doing a stupid Alan Bennett voice. He's from Harrogate, that's where he was born, an actor that I'd watched for years, loved him. I want to establish with him how we met. I think it was at a thing, and then we did a film together, and got like House on Fire. I think he's the sort of actor you see and you smile, but you be the judge of that. Jim Carter. Thank you, first of all, for doing it. I've pulled you in from the garden, I imagine.
Well, oddly enough, Imelda and I have just spent about an hour in the shed categorizing our seeds. And then putting these are for sowing in trays indoors, these will be scattered directly into the ground, these are veg. And then we got bored with it and thought, oh God, let's just sling them in any old where anyhow, like we normally do. But we did start off the day with our gardening aprons and our seed packets, yeah.
Now, a lesser comedian, on hearing his guests say that he and his wife have been in the shed categorizing their seeds, would try and create some sort of euphemism line, but we, not just I, we are better than that.
Of course we are. You and I have bonded in the past over alliums, I remember. We have a shared fondness of the allium purple sensation.
The triumph of the allium as it heralds the onset of spring and the weary actor finding some solace in his or her garden. You and I was saying in my introduction to you, I think we first met at a function, did we not?
If I hesitate to correct you, I think we first met on The Way We Live Now.
Yes, we did.
Which I saw you talking with Matthew McFadyen about, and you were Mr. Alf, I think, and I think, Mr. Breggart or something. I was trying to marry Anne-Marie Duff and failing. But what a sensational job that was, because there was Matthew McFadyen and you and David Bradley and Cillian Murphy, very young Cillian Murphy, and Maxine Peake, Fenella Woolgar, David Suchet. I mean, it was a great job. And David Yates directing, who then went on to do all the Harry Potters and stuff. And that's my clearest first memory of meeting you.
You're absolutely right. I was thinking of perhaps an award show or something where we had a nice chat.
There was some event, and we ended up in the basement of a hotel that looked as if it might have a swimming pool involved in it somehow. There was something rather chlorinated about it. And we bonded over a really good chat about sort of getting the work-life balance right. And sort of, I think, you were sort of saying, how do you balance that out? And we, I think I earmarked you, collared you for quite a long time at that party, but it was a really good conversation, as I remember, because it's a struggle that everybody has to get that balance right.
Now, Downton, huge. Is that the thing you've done that's had the most impact, would you say?
By 10 million miles, yeah. Partly, I've never been in a recurring series again, if that's the term for it. I'd been in things like Cranford, which had done sort of 8 episodes, or The Singing Detective had done 6 episodes, but not something that came back again. But the success of Downton, nobody had been in anything as successful as that. Maggie Smith hadn't been in anything that reached as wide as that. It was a global success. It was sold in every territory in the world that buys television. But it's kind of nice that it came later on in life. I mean, when it started, I was probably 60 or something like that. So when it started, it was a late boost in my career, and I could enjoy the benefits. If that had happened, when I was 22, I think and it's the biggest thing you're ever going to do, then that's a bit of a lump in your life, really. But I just took it in my stride and enjoyed the fruits of the success, and all the stuff that it came with it. Talking to you.
The Americans love it, don't they? How are you received? Because you've gone over there promoting it, am I right?
I mean, I first knew that it was a success when we went over to promote the second series. So the first series had been shown. We went to promote the second series, and my eyebrows were recognized in Manhattan. You know, I know those eyebrows, Carson. You know, and then we went to on that same trip. We went to Washington to a reception at the British ambassador's residence in Washington, and the great and the good of Washington were all there with their liver-spotted hands and their wives with the juvenile faces, all behaving disgracefully. It was like the Bay City Rollers or something. They were trying to grab bits of us. And then we were whisked from there in shiny limousines for a late night visit to the White House because it was Barack and Michelle Obama's favorite program.
No, I didn't know that.
10 o'clock at night, we were going around the White House, a private tour. They'd gone to their private apartments because they'd hosted a function that night. And we were given carte blanche, the Oval Office and the Situation Room.
No.
We were taking, it was absolutely amazing. We thought, this is for doing a telly. Yeah, it was lovely.
Wow, wow, that's astonishing. I think that I know that you appreciate things and you just enjoy them, and I think you realise. I think I was speaking to someone the other day and saying you could have a great career as an actor and yet never have something that's called a hit, a proper hit. So that when you do have those, they've really got to be appreciated and enjoyed.
Oh, you've got to enjoy it, I mean, and realise, that it's a privilege.
So we've established then that we met on this BBC costume drama, The Way We Live Now, which was rather good. I remember we did a film which called Swimming with Men. And that's when I spent a lot of time with you. It's on Netflix if people want to look it up. It's a charming British underdog movie about a chap who joins a synchronised swimming team. And I'm the chap, and you're a member of the swimming team. And it was a very enjoyable experience, was it not?
It was immensely enjoyable. I thought the script had a great deal of charm. I wanted to, on a personal note, I wanted to do something that was very different from Mr. Carson the Butler. And I thought getting your kit off to be in a male synchronised swimming team is about as far away as you can get from that. And I kind of like a challenge. I thought, I've never done this. Never heard of men synchronised swimming. And it offered a chance to do some training, something new. I really enjoyed the job. I've never been so knackered in my life as when we were training, because we did 2 weeks, 3 hours a day in the Olympic pool down on the Olympic site. And oh God, it was tiring, wasn't it?
Do you remember? I remember from that period of the training that I've never slept better as an adult.
Complete, that honest, absolutely, like just walking through the door, lying on the doormat, sleeping like a puppy, sort of thing.
It was quite
completely dead.
It was kind of startling. Absolutely, I would call it an honest exhaustion, not a mental exhaustion, not a stress exhaustion, just a good, honest, like we've been labouring in the fields.
Yeah.
And we had to learn. Now, people can look this film up and see some of the stuff we do, because it's all us. There are no doubles, as far as I know. There are no doubles.
No.
And we learned some moves which, had they said to us at the beginning of the process, "Oh, you're going to do this move," I would probably have said, "This isn't the job for me."
No, absolutely. I mean, we did one where we were all lying on our backs, gripping each other's necks with our feet, and then doing a backward 4-man's roll underwater.
Yeah.
Yet dragging you up. I mean, because I discovered something about myself, which I sort of knew, but it proved it to me, that I am the most buoyant person in equity. I am, because my body is 90% blubber. I'm a floater, Rob.
You are a floater. You are a floater.
I'm a floater. And whilst some of the younger and more exuberant actors were sort of flapping around to stay sort of on the surface while we were being fed instructions, I could just literally stand in the water and just bob quite happily, and people would hang off me when they would need to relax a little bit, which had a downside for, I think one of the opening shots was you swimming, and then you see all of us sitting on the bottom of the swimming pool. Well, I had about 10 kilograms of lead weight in the back of my shorts because I just physically could not get down. I'm not even strong enough to swim to the bottom of the swimming pool. I'm so buoyant.
If I'm ever on a ship and it goes down, I'm going to be looking for you. I would cling on to you like Kate Winslet hung on to that bit of wreckage in Titanic. In this series of interviews, one name comes up a lot because of a sort of obsession on my part or an adoration on my part, and that's Anthony Hopkins. Now, I've spoken about Hopkins with Michael Sheen, Matthew Rhys, the other Rhys fans, many different actors. Everyone adores him, admires him. You've worked with him, I think, on 2 projects. Is that right?
3, actually. If I can... The first one, I was slightly sort of off to the side. It was 32 years ago in Paris, a film called The 10th Man. Anthony Hopkins, Kristen Scott Thomas, I think, and Derek Jacobi playing the leads. And I was one of a bunch of prisoners. I was at a slight disadvantage because I joined the shoot in Paris from a holiday in Spain, and I hadn't got the memo that said, please don't shave. So I was completely clean shaven. Everyone else had a week's growth. So I was all shunted off to one side behind the camera because I looked too fresh-faced to be a prisoner. But sat and chatted with Hopkins. He was very affable and very good at doing his impressions on that. And then the next time I saw him, we were filming Downton Abbey at Ealing Studios, and he was in the next studio, I think, filming The Dresser with Ian McKellen. And I rather tentatively sort of tapped on his dressing room door and said, you won't remember Big Jim, oh, big hug and all. So I think it's because he'd seen Downton, was a fan of Downton. And then we worked together. I was played the voice of a 4'2" mechanical butler in Transformers. And then normally I would have just done that in a voice studio, but they said, well, Anthony, rather have you there so he can bounce off you a little bit. So I had a couple of weeks with him going around various places, being his 4'2" mechanical butler. The real body of me was played by a diminutive Japanese female acrobat. And then we did King Lear again after that.
So that's great. From that, I mean, there is no, for that story, there is no better production to go to after that. I mean, there is none. That sounds like a fantastic job, though, because you don't have to do makeup, you don't have to be in early for that. You just got to be there to do that, and you sit there. You got the script. How much fun was it?
Script here, cappuccino here. Thank you very much. Yeah, it was such good fun. We went to nice places. We sat and nattered because he's an entertaining man, you know, and he likes to laugh. It's a friend. This is hopefully one of the few bits of name dropping I'll do. Derek Jacobi is a good friend of mine, and he was in the old Vic company with Anthony Hopkins and Michael Gambon and that generation of actors. And Derek Jacobi says Hopkins had something none of the rest of us had. He was the one that had the special thing. Now, they were all pretty good actors themselves, but he thought that Hopkins had some special ingredient that no one else had.
I agree with that. And I've said it on here a million times, but yeah, there's something, I mean, like you talk about Brando had something, I would say Anthony Hopkins has that a danger to him, yet incredible heart. Oh, what a delight. Jim, thanks for doing this. You were such great company. We got on so well on Swimming with Men, I think because we share an outlook of we wanted to do it as well as we could do it, but then get home, enjoy the garden, and once spring comes, I'll be sending you more little pictures of my garden as I want to do. And you were able to name every flower that I sent you. You were able to name, which is an impressive thing.
Very good, very good.
Oh, and that voice. Give me that again.
Very good, Ron. Thank you.
I'm gonna have that on a loop, and that's what I'm gonna go to sleep to every night. Till the next time, Mr. Carter, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Rob. It was lovely.